I have the Bud Light Ian commercial up from the Super Bowl, and you've already seen an edited version of it. However, we want to go through this step by step with you so you see the commercial in its entirety and you understand exactly what it means. And we're also going to show you the Maserati commercial in tandem with it. And there's also another Bud Light commercial that is part of this whole agenda. I put in the other video that you just watched a segment from, I think it was November 7th, because a lot of people were saying, oh, you prophesied, you know, on 11/11/11. That's not accurate. I said I truly believe something was going to happen. But unless you say, thus saith the Lord of hosts, then you're not prophesying. I've only prophesied twice in my life, and so far those things have been proven to be accurate. The one that I'm waiting to see happen is the $50 bill event, which is the Hoover Dam, as well as the $10 bill and the $100 bill event, which is the destruction of New York City, and those things will come. I'm going to show you what this commercial is about, and I'm going to show you the spiritual world and the spiritual hands behind this commercial so you can understand exactly what it means, so you can make the necessary steps for you and your family. This is like, I don't even know how to describe how important this is. I've told my children that the most important thing is their relationship with Jesus Christ, and not to be afraid, because this day that's coming is going to come on everybody unawares. Just like the Bible says, it will happen instantly and suddenly as a snare. By the way, a snare is a trap that catches its victim and turns its victim upside down. So let's go ahead and let's get into the Bud Light commercial. This is Ian. He is not an actor. He's been set up. You'll see that everybody else that's involved in this is being manipulated by a control room that is behind the scenes. And that is the gist of this whole thing, that our entire life that we live is being controlled by a puppet master behind the scenes, orchestrating the destruction of the human race. I want to be very clear what this represents at the beginning. A girl's going to come up and she's going to proposition Ian. Her name is Kelly. The name Kelly means female warrior. The name Ian means gift from God. So this is a representation of the garden when a warrior, a female warrior, propositioned the gift from God and said, if I give you this light, are you up for whatever happens? Here we go.
Ready to go, now center in.
Hey.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
I'm Kelly.
Ian?
Ian?
Pleasure to meet you.
If I give this to you, are you up for whatever happens next?
3 seconds ago, we gave Ian Rappaport a Bud Light and a choice. Ian is not an actor. He has no idea what's going to happen next.
Now, what you just saw was a girl come up. Her name's Kelly. The first thing she does is say, hi, my name's Kelly. She shakes his hand. If you notice, in the video, her hand is in between her hand and Ian's hand. They shake hands, and there is a light in between their hands. The female warrior is shaking hands with Ian, the gift from God, and there is a light there's a light transfer. Look at her hand. This is with intent. Look at her hand is all light, and it's going to him. Lucifer is the light bearer. So she's an actor. Lucifer in the garden, the serpent, was an actor, and he beguiled Eve, and then also Adam was seduced into partaking from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. This is a representation of the garden in the beginning, and that he was given a choice and he made the wrong choice. And this whole commercial is going to be the eventuality of the choice that was made a long time ago, because the end is coming, and that's what this commercial is going to show you. Okay.
Ian, pleasure to meet you.
If I give this to you, are you up for whatever happens next?
I think I can do that.
All right, gentlemen, are ready.
How are you?
Okay, now Ian has gone into the limo. He sat down, and they have right here, there's an altar. You'll see it's got a right side up and upside down paradigm. Okay, Ian is entering the limo now. Here is Ian's Bud Light right here. There his Bud Light is. This girl right here is patting the seat right here So they have a pre-positioned seat for the gift from God to sit down. He's accepted the offer from the female warrior. He enters into a car that is a bachelorette party, and the implications of that are sexual fornication as well as debauchery. Ian sits down in his pre-positioned place. His Bud Light is on an altar with a right side up and an upside down paradigm, as above, so below. And there is the light. That was the offer. Now he's going to pick this up off this altar, and he will drink this, and he's accepted the deal. Okay, so here Ian is. I want you to also notice the beer that Ian has in his hand right here. This is the Bud Twist Off. The reason this beer is used in this particular commercial is because this is the same beer you saw coming out of the ice chest, launching like an ICBM or a nuclear missile coming out of a submarine. That is the same exact beer. Ian now will take the light and he will drink the light beer, and he's accepted the beer from the altar, and he's accepted whatever the consequences come from his choice. He was given a choice. That's why they told you that. Yeah, okay, let's continue.
Great. Pulling up. Can you hear me?
I hope I don't mess it up. Hey. Hey. Ian.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Definitely know who you are.
Okay, now here's Ian. This is the date they have given to Ian. What happened to Kelly, the female warrior? Well, she's passed him off now to this is his date. This is actually very significant. Okay, now look at all these wardrobes that are going on here. They already know who this guy's going to be, and they already have picked out a coat that he's going to put on, because now that he has accepted the deal, they're going to change his appearance, and they're going to put on one of these jackets because he's about to go meet now his paradigm has changed. He was one thing, and now he's going to a party, and he's going to meet his other half, which is dark. Okay, here we go.
We need a coat for Ian.
It's pretty awesome being saw by Minka Kelly tonight.
I wish I could come with you.
I know, I wish you could too.
Bye, guys.
Now, here is Don Cheadle. Now, by the way, for anyone you people out there, a guy named Alvin Francis in San Antonio is probably my best friend. I've known him for 30 years. He's black. He and I have been in martial arts for a long time. He's actually in the Karate Martial Arts Hall of Fame, so don't ever try and pull a race card on me, okay? The point of this is Don Cheadle is wearing the identical coat as Ian. He's got the same handkerchief, and he's with a white llama. This is extremely significant. The llama is from the Incan creation myth. That's where the llama, if you look up mythology of the llama, is from the Incan creation myth, the creation of humanity. Okay, well that's what we're dealing with. We started in the garden, in the bar, the beer garden, with the female warrior. Now Ian has made a choice. His choice put him into a half black, half white paradigm, which is me and you and everybody on the planet. However, that paradigm, that seed that entered us a long time ago, is now becoming homogenous in the human race, and you'll see that in a minute, because just like Lady Gaga said, the birthing of the new race. That's what this is all about. This is about a new race birthed within the human race. So here comes Don Cheadle with the llama. The llama also represents a sacrifice. Okay, here we go.
Good evening. Hello, Lily. Hey! There. Come on, Lily.
Same coat.
Hey!
Same coat, same hanky, same hanky.
Don! How are you? Hey, how's it going? Nice to see you. Are we ready to go? Hey, Jeff. Stand by. Hey, Captain's door. Door. Twins.
Yes.
Okay, now here you go. Here's this girl's identical twin. So here the twins are. But look at Ian. Here's a set of twins. They're like fraternal. Here's identical. Okay, Ian's white, he's black. This represents the condition of the human race. That is a representation of us. There's light and dark in all of us. However, the human race is changing into a homogeneous thing. There's a new race being birthed within the human race because of the serpent seed within us. That's what this is all about. Now, there's the sacrifice, and he's got his new homogeneous state, and they're going to take him to a party. Notice the color of the light when he enters into the party. It'll be red. It's a representation of who they serve. Go ahead.
Take care.
Everyone here is a twin. He walked in, the light was red. Everyone here is a twin. Now he's at a party. Everyone's holding the same thing from the altar. It's interesting. It's BudLight, but it was the light from Lucifer. Okay, continue.
My mind is blown.
They're on their way down.
Prepare to be crushed.
Here's Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold Schwarzenegger represents a mighty man. Genesis 6.4, when the sons of God had intercourse with human women, they gave birth to mighty men. They were heroes, men of renown. So here he is. That's his representation. He tells Ian, prepare to be crushed. This commercial is telling the human race, prepare to be crushed. This is also a sudden death match. You'll see that at the end of this. So here they go. Now watch Arnold. He's going to tell Ian, put your arms up like this. And the reason he's doing that is because there's a plaque at the Hoover Dam, and y'all saw it previously, but I want you to watch. We'll pause it on that. Go ahead.
Tiny penis. Okay, let's see the arms. You all look up on them. Very good.
Okay. Arnold did it first. He said, let's see the arms in order to coach him. Arnold has an earpiece in. He's being told what to do from behind the scenes. You can see that, later in this video. So now he puts his arms up. This mimics the Hoover Dam. Now, Arnold Schwarzenegger tells this guy to get on the ground. The ground is blue. It represents water. Let's go.
Just give me 5 push-ups. 2.
Pause. Okay, so now here is his head. There's Ian's head down by the water. This is an exact representation of the plaque at the Hoover Dam. Here is the bridge over the Hoover Dam. There it is. And the Hoover Dam would be back here where this wall is. I want you to notice this. The trophies graduate in size on both sides and make a pyramid. This is where the wall of the Hoover Dam would be. This is the bridge, the memorial bridge in front of the Hoover Dam. He's laying on the ground. He already raised his hands to mimic the plaque at the Hoover Dam. Let's keep going.
I knew it! Bring it up. And they're beautiful girls, huh? Come on, girls. Don't be shy when it comes to counting for me. Ready, my little man here?
Pause it. He constantly is making references to Ian as my little man, my little princess. He's mocking him because Ian has a group of people rooting for him on these benches that are all wearing blue t-shirts. Blue represents water. What's on the blue t-shirt? Ian's face is on that blue t-shirt because he's the sacrifice. He's the sacrifice that's on the shirt. Now, on the other shirts that are white that were given to him, on the other shirts that were white that were given to the people rooting for Arnold, there's an image of a guy with his arms up, which is probably Arnold Schwarzenegger. Once again, a perfect identification of the plaque at the Hoover Dam. Okay, let's continue. This is very strange, guys. I've worked in production before for my sunglass company, and been around enough stuff. We did some commercials that were for MTV and VH1, and you don't light a subject matter with one giant light like that. If they're filming, if they're trying to get the film, look how this glare is hitting the camera. This is not proper lighting. What I'm wondering about is this right here. and the representation of that. I'll be honest with you, I'm not sure. It could be the arrival of, you know, something they know about that we don't know about, or it could be a representation of a nuke. I don't know. However, the wall just fell to the Hoover Dam. That's what just happened. The entire wall, that's where the Hoover Dam would be. And it just fell down. Well, here's the new race of beings. And how do I know it's the new race of beings? Because of the name of the band that's playing, One Republic. I also know because of the bleachers. I told you this whole world is a half and half paradigm. You're half human, half something else. And I'm not going to get into percentages because it doesn't matter. You're part human, part something else. Don't believe me? Just go watch the 300 videos we've done and try and, you know, argue with that kind of material. It's all a spiritual gift. It's a gift from God. It's trying to help you guys wake up. Okay, so here's the new group of people because the dam broke and there's a whole new race of beings ready to go. There they are. And here's the bridge. And here's the water. Look, it's all blue. Well, let's go. Let's see who's playing.
Somehow find yourself in a limo with Reggie Watts and some bachelorettes. Then get styled by Mika Kelly before Don Cheadle, a llama named Lily, and the identical twin of the girl you just met take you to a party where you defeat Arnold Schwarzenegger in a sudden death ping pong match.
Where you find yourself in a sudden death ping pong match that puts you on stage with One Republic. Sudden death on stage with One Republic, New World Order. You're looking at it. Okay, type this in to Google, do a Google search and type this in backwards. What you will find is it will bring up websites that are backwards and it will bring up Warcraft. This Silbu Pereno is actually a place in Warcraft. It's actually a location in the game Warcraft. I don't know if you think those are coincidences, maybe. I think that would be almost insane if someone could try and believe that these are all coincidences. That her name means female warrior. His name means gift from God. She's an actor. He's not an actor. She says, if you take the light, are you up for whatever happens? And he says, yes, I am. And so the whole human race becomes hybridized, turns into a twin situation, like the Twin Towers, and then it ends up being our ping pong table that looks just like the bridge at the Hoover Dam, with the plaque at the Hoover Dam being an exact representation of what these guys are doing. If you believe that this is a coincidence, then you're living in some other world. I just don't think you. I think you're just asleep and you haven't woken up yet. Now, there's some buttons on here. Okay, I want you to notice that it makes an upside down pyramid. Why they put 3 buttons in there? Well, you can make the argument that it's camera D, E, and F, and they wanted to show you 3 different scenes. If you click on this one over here, you go to Crash the Party with Cruella. It goes to a scene where Cruella is having this party. Cruella has an album out. Her debut album is called Get Wet. That's her debut album, I'm not kidding. It's called Get Wet. Now, let's take that and add that to the Hoover Dam falling, or to the wall falling instantly and suddenly. Let's add that to a ping pong table that's identical to the bridge at the Hoover Dam. Let's take that and add that together with Kelly meaning female warrior and Ian meaning gift from God. Let's take that and add that together with Ian getting in an elevator with a guy named Don. By the way, Don means Lord and Master. It also means to slip into like a new clothing, to slip into a different attire. And a llama, which represents a sacrifice in the Incan creation myth. You're telling me you believe those things could all just happen to be like that? Wait a minute, Arnold means eagle power, like the restored Roman Empire, which is through us. And his last name, Schwarzenegger, it means edge of darkness. It's probably just coincidence. So here's the Maserati commercial. I'm going to quote the Bible for you. Genesis 6:4. There were giants on the earth in those days, and after that, Genesis 6:4. There were giants on the earth in those days, and after that, for when the sons of God, Satan and the fallen angels, had intercourse with human women, they gave birth to mighty men, the Nephilim. Just go read different versions of the Bible. It'll tell you what they were. You know, they were hybrids. They were twins. Okay, here we go. There's a wave crashing. It's crashing. It's making its curl. It's a tidal wave. You see that tornado? It is at the door. This is done with extreme intent, folks. Don't forget, this is a Maserati commercial. They're trying to sell lots and lots of cars to people because their car is so cool they want a lot of people to buy it. That's what this commercial is, Maserati commercial. You tell me, is this selling you a car or is this telling you something else? Here's what this thing starts and says, the world is full of giants. I'm telling you what it means. The wave is curling, it means it's making landfall. The tornado is at the front door and it looks like a church and it's about to hit. Let's continue.
The world is full of giants.
The reason the shadow is there is because when she says the world is full of giants, that is a representation of them, the other race of beings, the darkness covering the earth. That's why the shadow is covering the earth. It's in so many places in the Bible, it's ridiculous. But the shadow is covering the earth, and it's covering the rocks. And then the little girl in the next scene, you'll see her. She's asleep, and she's waking up. Her eyes are opening. And that is a reference to that race of beings is awakening. Here we go.
They have always been here, lumbering in the schoolyard.
She is looking at her own reflection because that's as far as you have to look to see the enemy. The enemy is in you, not out there. You're the enemy. You're your own enemy. That's the way Satan did it.
Limping through the alleys, we had to learn how to deal with them, how to overcome them. We were small, but fat.
This is a representation of the fowls of the air. We were small, but fast. These are blackbirds against a white sky. It's very deliberate. It says, we appeared out of nowhere like a wind. I want you to just realize when they showed up, they appeared out of nowhere. Okay, here we go.
Remember? We were like a wind appearing out of nowhere.
Then the scene changes to this. Look where the camera is. Camera angle down. They're trying to show it was a giant. We were like a wind appearing out of nowhere. And so it shows her shoe from low. And then it focuses up with the angle of the camera. Now the giants, the race has been refined into us. We are the new race. Okay, go ahead.
We knew that being clever was more important than being the biggest kid in the neighborhood. As long as we keep our heads down.
She says we knew that being clever was more important than being the biggest kid in the neighborhood. They have refined the whole human race. It's no longer a race of giants. It's a homogeneous race. It's us. It shows them forging the metal. This is very important. If you know your Bible, you know Daniel 2:43, the iron mixed with miry clay. It's very important that you understand he's forging metal. It represents forging the new race. Just keep watching.
As long as we work hard, trust what we feel in our guts, our heart.
This net is very important. This is very deliberate, this net. As long as we work hard, as long as we keep our head down. What does that mean? When you keep your head down, that means you go unnoticed. If someone tells you to keep your head down, that means you go unnoticed. Let me ask you a question. Does any of this have to do with a Maserati yet? Does any of this have to do with buying a car? Have you seen anything so far that makes you want to buy a Maserati?
Then we're ready. We wait until they get sleepy. Wait until they get so big they can barely move. Then we walk out of the shadows. Quietly walk out of the dark. And strike.
Now we're going to go back and I'm going to show you what that means. Let's get ready. Don't forget your BudLight commercial. Don't forget the missile launching out of the ice chest. It says we wait until they get sleepy because the whole human race has gone to sleep. Nobody knows what's going on. The percentage of the people that know what's going on is infinitesimally small. We wait until they get sleepy. We wait until they get so big they can barely move. The camera is coming from above showing you the big cities. How once it goes down, it's going to be a complete and utter gridlock. No one will be able to move. It'll be people stacked on top of each other. By the way, when this commercial was playing, the Super Bowl was going on. Did you know there was an explosion at Hell's Kitchen, which a guy saw in advance? And did you know they made all the people go back into the stadium and people were one on top of each other like sardines in Giants Stadium? They could barely move. She says, we wait until they get sleepy. We wait until they get so big they can barely move. Then we quietly come out of the shadows. Now look, this is so important. The guy that was forging the metal is lifting his mask. His identity is coming forward.
Walk out of the shadows.
He lifts his mask.
Quietly walk out of the dark.
Come out of the shadows. He lifts his mask because our enemy is hiding behind the veil, the shadows. He lifts his mask. Then the little girl, look, the curtain, the veil, like the veil in the temple in the Bible, the veil is open now. And she's coming out of the darkness right here and going into the light from behind the veil. So the new race of beings, just like the BudLight commercial. Just like the BudLight commercial. Boom, wall falls, birthing of the new race. Maserati commercial. There's giants, they've always been here. This is all the Bible, guys, every bit of this. We walk out of the shadows, we walk out of the darkness, and then once they walk out of the darkness, once they lift the mask off, then what do?
Then we walk out of the shadows, quietly walk out of the dark, and strike.
So the little girl says, we strike. Well, who's she talking about? The new race of beings that's being birthed within the human race. Let's look again one time at Kelly and the origin of Kelly. Kelly means female warrior, and it actually originates from Kali. Well, Kali, if you look up Kali and you do your homework, Kali is a mother goddess, and although the Hindus consider her the mother goddess savior, it's really the mother goddess of all demons, and she carries a trident as well. Now let's look one more time at Ian. Ian means gift from God. We want to show you so you can see with your own eyes. Ian means gift from God, or God's gift. Well, God's gift is life, guys. And the devil, he takes life. So Ian means gift from God. And this morning, the Lord put it on me to look up the name Rappaport. This is fascinating. Rappaport is Hebrew. Does that shock you? That his name is Hebrew? Also means rapport, harmony. And it was also blended. If you go and you do your research, you'll find out that it was Rappa was originally the Jewish name, and it was blended in a place in Italy, and it became Rappaport. It's from what's called a Cohenetic pedigree. A Cohenetic pedigree. Let me explain to you what that means. Cohen. Cohen is from Hebrew. It is the Hebrew word for priest, and it is believed that they are direct patrilineal descent from the biblical Aaron. And their job was to offer sacrifices to God. So Kali comes up, the prince of demons in female form, comes up and offers Ian her light and says, are you up for whatever happens if I give you this? He takes the deal, and gift from God, which also means his last name, rapport, to be in harmony with, who was once in harmony with God, is now in a condition of dark and light in one body. That is the condition of the entire human race. His last name just happens to be from Jewish descent as the first Levitical priest. Guys, time's coming. Get Jesus now. Find Jesus. Cry out to Jesus. We are prepared. Now we strike. Ghibli. Ghibli is an Arab wind. It's a wind out of the Sahara Desert. An extremely hot, burning wind. Has anyone ever seen one of those giant sandstorms? It's a burning hot wind, kind of like a wind out of the Middle East. We have prepared, and now we strike. Guys, here's the thing. If you don't know Jesus Christ and you haven't settled your account with the Lord God, I am telling you, I'm begging you. I'm not kidding, I'm begging you. Just admit who you are. Look, this is your condition. Why do you think Jesus died in between two guys? His arms were reaching out to both sides, making the two one. And he can make you one too. But you have to go to him. You have to admit you're a sinner, and you have to take the sacrifice that he died on that cross in the flesh, because our flesh is what's corrupted. It all makes sense now. Don't you get it? It's so obvious now. Once you see it, it's like, oh my gosh, it's the most obvious thing in the world. I'll tell you what, just put one little picture of a shop I saw at the mall. It's called The Body Shop. Just turn the letter O upside down in the word body. Tell me what it is. Okay, well, God bless you guys. I hope you guys get it. It's coming.
The world is full of giants. They have always been here. We were like a wind appearing out of nowhere. Then we're ready. We wait until they get sleepy. Wait until they get so big they can barely move. Then we walk out of the shadows.
Meant to signify an artistic statement of birthing a new race. A race within the race of humanity.
Quietly walk out of the dark and strike.